One. In the month of July 2024, we had Bitcoin going from a 53K up towards its all-time high at 70K with a 30% move. We also had the Bitcoin conference going on with Donald Trump and two other presidential candidates set to speak on the future of crypto in the United States. Sentiment was high and folks were bullish. Since then, we have had a 30% drop in Bitcoin and a massive drop in the stock market and equities. We also have JP Morgan seeing a greater chance of recession for the US. Has the market bottomed? Do we have further to go? Are we looking at a possible return to their bear market? We take a look at Bitcoin, AVAX, and Jewel chart to try to get an answer to our question. Welcome to the trade room. What's up? What's up? What's up? And welcome to another Macro Saturday. It is quarter three of 2024. We've had a lot going on in the cryptocurrency market, and we're just here to chat, converse about what we see in the markets and where we think it is going. If you are here, thank you. Make sure to put a thumbs up, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and put your alerts and alarm on so you get the releases that we put out. This is a premiere video release, and let's get right into it. Thank you if you have made it here today. So as you know, on the Trade Room channel, we talk fundamentals, we talk crypto, we talk macro, right? Looking long term into this space, and then going a little bit micro into the different aspects of the charts, fundamentals, and overall where we see things going week to week, month to month, while still having a macro outlook. So we've had a few things going on in the month of July leading into August, and we're going to talk about it. Let me see if I can minimize this here today. All right, so in the beginning of this stream, we spoke about the fact that the market has had a hard crash. There was a lot of euphoria going into the Bitcoin conference and Donald Trump speaking. But through all that, we have relied on the charts to give us an indication of where the market is to go. Not financial advice, just tracking, and as I always say, my public journal. And so leading into that, seeing a lot of euphoria into the markets, there was a tweet that I put out right before the Bitcoin conference, July 24th, that said the path to 92K Bitcoin. So right off the bat, first question answered, right? Has the market bottomed? Do we have lower to go? Are we going towards a recession? I think we've already been we've already been in a recession, and the overall markets react to economic numbers that are dropped, right? So is there more upside in the stock market, in crypto, in Bitcoin? Um, that I believe personally, yes, right? A lot of the technical analysis individuals I respect and check and reference their charts believe so as well. So there is more upside, but things are scary. Okay. JP Morgan does see a greater chance of US recession this year. I think translating, JP Morgan sees us economic numbers looking worse going into 2025. It does not mean that there isn't higher upside. It does not mean that liquidity is not going to come back into the markets. Liquidity left the markets, but it is coming back, right? Based upon these economic numbers. We won't dive too much into the Federal Reserve, what's going on with CPI, PPI, GDP. All these economic numbers that are coming out give us indicators. And I believe the Psalm rule was triggered. All these different economic metrics that come out give us indicators that the economy is not doing as well. And if we hit certain measures of certain numbers, you know, things don't look good for growth. Okay, not only within the U.S. And our GDP, gross domestic product, but it doesn't look good for the world in general. But again, these are boom and bust cycles, and what happens in these boom and bust cycles is you get an inflation of not inflation because that's a bad word to use. You get an influx of capital into a certain move based upon what is happening, and then you get an outflux, right? And so we're in the phase where the world is realizing that the economic structure that we have with the fiat system, something is wrong with it, right? The way the US is running things, something is wrong with it. And there's going to be a flush in and a flush out of liquidity. So this is why I believe that we are going to be due to have one of the worst bear markets, right? Either the worst bear markets that goes through a long period of time, or a very sharp bear market that has a heavy drop, right? And then either a slow or V-shaped recovery. So we'll talk about more of that in our later live streams, but this recession fear is real, okay? And as the market realizes that, that's how we get some of these dumps. But again, the charts always also show us that these dumps are preparing to happen, right? So the first question is answered. Are we in a recession? I think we've been in a soft recession, okay? And I believe that the impact of that is going to fully hit when the market comes to a realization that we have to go through that bust cycle. And I'm a big believer that technology and innovation helps us get out of that bust cycle, and you'll see that rotate over a 15 to 20 to 30-year period. And that is what brings the macro upside for crypto, blockchain, and what that has to offer humans in terms of technology helping us get out of this bust cycle when it comes to monetary use, monetary policy, and how nations secure themselves and earn money, right? Not to get too deep into that, but back to the path. Okay, so question number one answered. Are we in a recession? We've been in a recession. We're gonna have to work our way through there. Has the market bottomed is the next question, right? And I believe the market has bottomed, right? We talk about the path to 92K. And sorry to go back and forth, but we're going to do that in order for me to paint this picture for you guys. So the market has bottomed. We're in a recession. We have more upside before we really finish off our correction to have innovation and technology bring us out of the recession that we're going into. So we do have more upside in Bitcoin. We do have more upside in the stock market. Not financial advice, my opinion. And so a lot of hype going into the BTC conference with 3 presidential candidates speaking. Feels like a revisit to 58K is in store. Soft support at 63K. So I had possibly this downtrend going to 58K, but as you guys can see, 52K here, and then in the bottom here, which is the bull market support band here at around 48K for 46K for Bitcoin. This was the projection, and I tried to have a little fun with it. Where it said Trump's speech at Bitcoin conference today, dump it. If you guys know who this guy is, he's infamous. Really messed up his face, getting like crazy plastic surgery, but this is an infamous GIF slash meme of his. So with all that euphoria going into that conference, obviously you guys could see that I was a little bit bearish. So we had a 30% move here, and now we're shifting to the chart. For me to answer, has the market bottomed? We're going to look into the Bitcoin chart. You guys know Bitcoin is the end all be all. Right now, it rules the market, so we have to track its movements to determine where we are to go in the future. As you can see, leading into the conference, Bitcoin ran from 53K to about 70K, a 30% move, and then it gave all that back up and actually went lower. All right. Why did I have 58K here, right, as the support and 63 as a soft support? Well, we're following this channel here, right? And as we're following this channel here, I mean, gee golly, Bitcoin is due for a breakout at any point in time within this channel here, right? We hit our all-time high here back in March of 2024, and we actually had our highest high, right, at 74,000, and we've had nothing but since that high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, finally in this move down to about 48, 49K. So this action that's happening here for Bitcoin is not bullish in the sense of creating a high and then lower lows, higher low, lower lows, higher low, lower lows, higher low. It's not a good movement. But again, this is not the bigger picture. The bigger picture that we're looking at for Bitcoin, if we shift to the monthly candle, is this big impulse, right? This movement here, all-time highs in 2021, huge correction, didn't go below the previous all-time high. And then we had this massive move here from around 15K. In total, that was about a 364% move. That's the bigger picture. What's happening in this channel is just what I believe is a correction and some consolidation, right? And so within that, we've had this channel. So we have a kind of a bearish movement within a bigger bullish movement. But what this also creates is a falling wedge, okay? Just a falling channel here. And we're looking to finally break out of this, okay? And so what we're looking at here is a deviation from this channel with bad economic numbers that were released, especially bad US economic numbers. But also, too, we have buyers and sellers, right? The guys that have liquidity in the markets, distribution is happening, right? So they're finding moments to sell, to sell, to sell, to sell to those who are playing leverage, those who are playing leverage contracts within the market. So just wiping people out, wiping people out, wiping people out, wiping people out, just beating you absolutely down. But if you're looking at the bigger picture and you're looking at this chart right here, this is consolidation. All right. The bull market support band for Bitcoin is here at 46, between 46 and 37K. Price and we repeated this for a very long time, price could come and test this area, and we are not sweating one bit as long as it does what? Consolidates in this area before it makes its move out of here. All right. Even if it were to deviate quite slightly, if it came into this bull market support area and just pierced a little bit below here, came back consolidated and ran through, we're still happy with that, right? Because this 32K area and this 25K area, major support area, right? And so while this consolidation in the smaller time frame is going on, knowing we have this bull market support area here, seeing price kind of consolidate here and dip below here, was 46K, 48K, 49K a buying opportunity? I believe so, not financial advice. It corrected, Bitcoin corrected from that top in a 7 to 9 day span about 30%. Okay. And so these are all my beliefs of why the bottom is in. Macro bullish pattern, macro bullish pattern, micro bearish pattern. That is a consolidation leading into the next and final impulse. And so when do we, sorry, since the bottom, or since our move to 49K, we have recovered, okay, we have recovered as high of about 23%. And now we sit about a 21% correction. So what could the rest of this channel look like before we look at that macro support on the monthly chart? I'm going to remove this 29% drop. That's clear. Huge, massive 29% drop. Dump it, right? As we would say. What is the possibility of this channel? Well, going into Jackson Hole, and Jackson Hole is an event where the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, sits and talks more about what we're looking at for the U.S. He's going to get a lot of recession questions. He's going to a lot of fear in the markets right now. It happens at the end of August, and so yeah, Bitcoin could do this thing and kind of maybe even bounce at this 58K area, where again our initial breakdown had this 58K area as a possible support, bounce, get rejected off 63, come bounce, and then make our way out of here. I'm going to adjust this, right? I have to adjust this, right? Because we have had things that have changed. This ended up being the possible support here at 51, but this channel is also a possible support area. So I will use this channel, okay? And so I had a bounce, rejection, and back test. So we're going to move this back to the channel because now we have an opportunity to form a higher low. Not only that, we have an opportunity at a inverse head and shoulders here. If we can get the shoulder here, and it's kind of a declining head and shoulders, right? Just a great possible pattern we could be looking for. Does that change the journey to 92K? We do not believe so. And I'm running through this because it's just a few things that we have to cover, trying to keep this under about a half an hour. Maybe not. All right. So this is still the journey to 92K. Answering question number 2, have we bottomed? We believe so. Will there still be some fear going into that bottom? We believe so. Why do I also believe that we have bottomed? This RSI here that found strength over here in that June area as we made our way to test the all-time high area. It's this inclining RSI continues to play out on a daily chart, and we can get a drop here just to pick this back up inclining wise. So those are all the micro reasons why I think we have bottomed. Respecting the bull market support band, wicking over at 52K. A powerful pattern that we're looking for here still reflects what we expected here at 58K, but now we're using this channel, all right, as our gauge here as well. And then when we go into the macro, and I'll go to the monthly chart, and this macro one is going to be very simple. This macro one is going to be very simple. When we dipped over here, right? When we dipped over here at 25K, we came back down And this mid Bollinger, all right, mid Bollinger is an indicator that I use, just like the RSI indicator that I use. The mid Bollinger here bounced, okay, after this long downtrend where the mid Bollinger was in a downwards pattern. It bounced off of this 25K area. If you were following our streams, you saw how bullish we were once we got this curve here and the bigger macro mid Bollinger on the chart, which each month is a monthly candle. This is years of data here. Okay, years of data here. Now we have this mid Bollinger climbing up ever so slowly, climbing up. It has entered the bull market support band here. Love it, right? And now it is coming to meet the monthly price chart. It is coming to meet the monthly price chart. And so all it is time for this monthly mid Bollinger to make its way here and price to make its way here. And once that happens, there's still going to be some consolidation. But eventually, when those two things happen, support is going to be somewhere, and you may get a consolidation before impulse. Again, that move up to 92K, and it can be very, very aggressive once it finds that stability between the monthly candlesticks and the monthly mid Bollinger, which is the 200 week moving average, I believe. I have to double check that. But that's where that support is. That's where the next impulse to 92K is coming from. We have looked at macro. We have looked at micro on the charts, why we believe that the bottom is in and there is some consolidation that could go through there. Our projection for Bitcoin still remains that once we get this impulse here, we break through the previous all-time high, 92K is going to form as a resistance area. We may then consolidate between the 69 and 92K area, and then bombs away towards the end of the market, wherever the top is. I do not know where the top is. Anybody that says they know where the top is most likely lying. If you say you know exactly where the top is. The top is going to be where euphoria is the highest and their market thinks it's going to be up only. I have it as possibly as high as 216,000. I doubt that. My guess, an absolute butthole guess, is around 120 to 140,000. But again, we have stated and reiterated that we will be selling whatever we have. I don't care if it's $100 and it went to $650. If that's all I have and I'm feeling the top, I will call out the top and that's where I'll be selling at, right? And so that's what we have to answer question number 2. Is the bottom in? Yes, the bottom is in. Are we in a recession? We're gearing towards the full impact, the market actually understanding the full impact of this recessionary economic ecosystem that we live in. But there is more upside and there is more opportunity, and we are here to take that opportunity. The monthly RSI has cooled off to a certain extent. As this consolidation is going on, we may look to find a little bit of a dip here in the RSI before our impulse happens. But yes, we believe the monthly bottom is in. Okay, so now why else, aside from technical, why else fundamentally do we believe the bottom is in? And this is, we're going to look at AVAX, okay, which is an altcoin, a layer one. Because alt season is something that will also come out of this bottom in Bitcoin and Bitcoin making this impulse, right? Well, another reason why the bottom continues to remain in is that the 4-year journey, okay, the 4-year journey of Ripple Labs, the SEC coming out in 2020 and suing Ripple Labs and trying to use Ripple Labs and their use of XRP as one of the uppercuts to kill the entire cryptocurrency space. The SEC has lost that battle. Has lost that battle of, at the time, suing the number 3 or suing a software development company, suing a software development company that uses XRP, which is the number 3 asset, or was the number 3 asset at the time in the blockchain space, and trying to use that to kill the rest of altcoins. After 4 years, Ripple has been hit with a $125 billion penalty fraction of SEC claim. That initial, all right, what they initially sought was $2 billion in penalties, and they wanted to flag XRP as a security token, which would then flag all other altcoins, including Ethereum, because they had an ICO. They more looked like a security than XRP. After 4 years, XRP has been deemed no longer a security. Ripple Labs and their executives bought and sold XRP, and there was no problem with that. There was no charge of fraud, and the SEC has been humiliated. And now the crypto space has legal clarity. The case is over. Okay. And so the SEC is going to try to claim this as an actual win, but there's no fraud. And now the technology is free to do what it needs to do. And upon that decision, right, upon that decision, we saw XRP run up about 25% initially. And my goodness, this XRP chart is due to go ballistic. Okay, we have this 36-cent area as a macro support area, and all we have seen, right, we had this huge move to $3 from 14 cents, which, just to give perspective, this move from $3 to 14 cents was about a 2,500% move. And there's a history of XRP even moving up 70,000%, right? But what you see here is this movement here, support, and now we're looking for escape velocity. If you're looking at this pattern and you don't see macro support since 2017, I don't know what to tell you. We just got our legal clarity, and XRP is due for a run, not just in this cycle, wherever this cycle flows and ends, whatever. XRP is due for a 10 to 15-year macro run, with it being the only thing in crypto to have legal regulatory clarity going through the court system, and the US of A saying you are good to go to function and to flow. So highly bullish on XRP, highly bullish on its future, and guesstimation of around $13 for its highest impulse, whether that is within this cycle or whether that is at some point within its macro 10 to 15-year cycle. The upside for XRP looks tremendous. And again, just to wrap up with XRP, upon the news of the deal, XRP has moved up about 49%, right? So that's XRP, all right? So question number one, are we in a recession? Kind of in a recession. Market still has some upside. Before we really get this impact of this recession, technology and innovation should take us out of it, as it always does. The bottom is in. We're seeing that in the Bitcoin chart. We're also seeing that fundamentally in the courts. We're seeing some legal clarity for some of these long cases that have gone about. And we're looking at some of these altcoins that are also looking and having impulses, right? Having impulses and making their way to finding support. Now we have AVAX, all right, and AVAX, ton of content, ton of footage on AVAX. AVAX, similar to Bitcoin, AVAX's bull market support is at 2135. Again, we talk about deviations, okay? You talk about deviations all the time. Yes, 21 is the bull market support area, and then 13 is the macro strength support area. We don't want to see it go below 1356. But and this is the consolidation area that we expected AVAX to consolidate in. But you're seeing it currently right now, and this 30% dip. Okay, this 30% dip for Bitcoin. In this 30% dip for Bitcoin, AVAX dipped 47%, and that's just normal, right? Whatever Bitcoin dips, you'll see altcoins bleed even more, right? So AVAX had a 47% correction, even though it's been trying to break out of this $31 area, which that's what we said. If it breaks out of there, find support, amazing times ahead, right? And so this bull market support area at $21, it still fits in line with our theory of just whatever this consolidation is in this general area before we get our final breakout. And that's just how I feel about it, right? Not financial advice. And so what we're seeing here is this consolidation is going to try to find support here at this $21 area. And as it floats in between there, again, even if it's one that we are working on accumulating, whatever that one is, this is a great area to accumulate it for us personally. And we'll ride it. We'll ride it where? We'll ride this bad boy, AVAX to $224, okay, at minimum. $224 at minimum. And you are seeing, similar to Bitcoin, this mid Bollinger that finally curved its way out of here and started to make its way through. You're seeing that it is deviated below that bull market support area. You're seeing that the monthly candle has run back on top of this bull market support area. So for AVAX for the month of August, we're looking to see where the monthly candle closes at. But did AVAX find this bottom at around $17? This wick here, whoever scooped this bad thing up at $17, I am jealous. All right, we do believe the bottom for AVAX is in. We're going to watch the monthly candle close. If this monthly candle closes above the bull market support area, we're in a good place. All right. So that's that for AVAX. We're going to continue to track that. Sweet area to be accumulating it at, not financial advice. So we then move on to the gaming ecosystem and we move on to the Jewel token. And again, if you're here and you've been here, thank you for being here with us. Put a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot to get this out to other people. And we're going to be looking at Jewel. And you know, whenever we look at Jewel, I like to give a reminder that the order of liquidity, right? I like to go from Bitcoin, then to altcoins, and then to the gaming space. And in the gaming space, one of the tokens that I'm tracking here for the gaming space is Jewel, right? And I track Jewel because I play DeFi Kingdoms. And DeFi Kingdoms is an MMORPG game that's gone through about 3 years of development with PvE out, right? PvE out through boar hunts and PvP coming, player versus player coming sometime in the next couple of months on the Metis blockchain. And I think and believe that Jewel, the token that's associated, the primary gas token, primary power token of this blockchain game, GameFi, that also has NFTs and DeFi mechanisms and an entire economy to it, I think Jewel is due to explode. And we've been tracking that for a very long time. Before we dig into that, let's talk about some development that's currently happening within the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem. We have expeditions that have gone live. So again, when people are like, devs, devs do something. It's like the devs is doing what they're doing. I mean, the user interface that I see in the game, the ease of use, the ability, even when you're doing boar hunts, that then if you're missing a potion, click on that potion, buy it instantaneously, and still keep doing what you're doing. This is not what it was 2 years ago. Understand that. And so new players that are coming in are going to be able to just come in and flow. And they're still working, still developing what they're doing. And a lot of times in bear markets, psychologically, you'll have people in the crypto space that are not here long term. They just leave in bear markets. They just leave, go away, and they wait for when Bitcoin is back near all-time highs to come back in. What gaming is going to do is gaming is going to be year round, decade round, and we're going to be here no matter bull, no matter bear, because we have a game to play and we have fluctuations in value within the game. So interesting conversation I had with Maddie Pesk about Jewel or DeFi Kingdoms won't be different in a bear market in terms of just volatility going down, but the end game value is going to fluctuate bull or bear, and there's going to be value here. And it's fun. It's a game. It is fun, right? So I'm an investor slash gamer when it comes to this space, and I think you can be both. So we have new releases, all right? We have expeditions, which, you know, in DeFi Kingdoms, you have the ability to take your NFTs out questing, out to do their jobs. Those are jobbers, right? Your NFTs can work for you. You are an employer. You have a quote unquote business, right? And so that's live. That's development that's happened there. For me, I still use DFK Helper. Big shout out to DFK Helper. I still use the bots that from Team Geese, some of the bots that they have available for the community, and I'm going to be trying out expeditions as well, right? The options are tremendous. I love the options, just like how I love the third-party developers within DeFi Kingdoms and outside of DeFi Kingdoms as well. Adventures at DFK, you know, Token Foundry to check the supply of different things. I mean, there's so many Donate Live, just so many third-party applications for this ecosystem. So love to see the release of expeditions. You know, love to see the different power-ups that are in the jeweler as well. You know, and these are some power-ups for expeditions as well. So love that more jewel being locked up, right, for some of these incentives. Okay, love the release of the traits, right? As previewed in today's AMA, here are the current updates for active and passive traits. Love the release of these traits. If you guys have not seen the Theat, all right, or T-Heat and Mega's breakdown and their tier list, please make sure to go see these active and passive traits tier list. I'm actually going to head over to the jewelers right now to show that off, because it is absolutely, it was a great episode to watch. The jewelers have a new show coming out that just came out this Thursday as well. It was fantastic to watch. But let's see if I can find, oh man, you know, we tweet so much. We tweet so much that it's like it's hard to, hey, load up. It's hard to catch the things that we've put out already. Look at this beautiful, beautiful expeditions chart here. There we go. Here is our tier list here. Okay, so Second Life, Giant Slayer, and Intimidation is up there as well. Make sure it's fried chicken and pig skins with the jewelers on YouTube. Make sure to go click on this. Make sure to watch this. Really great insights into the tier list and the different skills that slap. You know, in the S tier, we have Second Life, Resurrection, Explosion making it to A, and Stun as well. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic catching this tier list. But this is everything that's going on in the ecosystem. This is why we're also so bullish. And let's go back to the Joule chart before I get carried away to wrap up the stream here for DeFi Kingdoms. I'm building my monsters. I'm excited and ready for PvP and excited to try out some of these traits, look back at my heroes, and see if I have the proper setups. But I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot more dark summoning coming out with some of these trait releases. And make sure to also tap in for the Jewelers stream. I believe we're streaming tonight as well. So I have a lot of content with Jewel when it comes to this that we have here. So I won't go too in depth on it, but what I will say is on the weekly and the monthly chart, we've been tracking this inverse head and shoulders and this 1154 area, 11 cents area as the possible support. You know, when deviations happen below it, we don't really sweat because you'll never get a clean chart, a clean pattern, right? But let's take the same mechanisms, the same metrics that we just looked at Bitcoin for, that we just looked at XRP for, that we just looked at AVAX for, and determine if the bottom for Jewel is in, because those are the questions that we've been answering for this entire stream. Now, again, this inverse head and shoulders here, we want this monthly. So this is the month of August. In order to determine if the bottom is in for Jewel, we need to have this monthly candle, the month of August, close above 11 cents, 11.1154. If we can get that, that fits the rule that we've been following for quite some time about the monthly chart for the history of Jewel not closing below 1154 primarily. So out of 3 years, which 3 years, each month is 12 months, 12, 24, 36, 36 candles have formed with the Jewel price. 36 candles. Out of that 36, only one, when it first began, 2, 3 have finished below 1143. How insane is that? How insane is that? Out of 36 monthly candles, only 3 have closed below 1154. Let that sink in. And so when we track this, whether it's bull, whether it's bear, we're looking for a collection of months to close above 1154. And if we're able to get that for August, we would now have had, since the only other time in its history of October 2023 and September 2023 and August 2021, if we can have consecutive months of June, July, and August of 2024 close above 1154, that will complete one part of the inverse head and shoulders, and that will set up Jewel to test its bull market support area, which is between 15 cents and 29 cents, to test this area and absolutely break the F out. Come back and test 74, 75 cents. Maybe come back and test this 30-cent area, and then is bombs over Baghdad, bombs away. 126, $1.26 is a little bit of a tough area. And then again, I've always maintained and I've always felt like we are due to run to between $3 or $4, $3.96 and $5.58. And so that's what we're looking at for Jewel. When we look at the bigger picture, when we look at the Bollinger Band, as we've done for the other assets, BTC, AVAX, and XRP, it is even below its Bollinger Band. So when you talk about undervalued, when you talk about oversold, Jewel is what we are looking at. Okay. And so that's the bigger picture when it comes to Jewel. When we dig into the 3-day chart, just look at the stochastic. Look at the stochastic, which is a weight of price action. Oh, the weight of price action is wrapping up this bottom end structure here. When we look at the weekly chart, it is still in a corrective phase right here. So again, we're just looking for the week to possibly close above this. And then we looked at the month already. When we look at the daily chart, look at the daily, man. The daily is like, I'm over this downturn. I'm over this downturn. Let's start showing some strength right here. So I do expect Jewel monthly chart to close the month of August to close above 1154, and then we've spoken about where we have to go from there. So that is the full breakdown of technical analysis that we have. The question at hand: has the market bottomed? Are we going lower? We are consolidating, and it may still feel like lower for some people that are looking at the charts, especially when you're looking at Bitcoin. But to me, it is really just nothing but consolidation within this channel as the monthly mid Bollinger rages its way back up here. And we are looking for an impulse to 92K. So the path is still there. There is still some consolidation. Things are scary. Markets look recessionary, but we believe there is still some upside yet to come. And so I hope that you know I hope that others have this question about what's happening in the markets. We joked around. We've been joking around about this dump. Yeah, right. But we expected it, right? And so when others are bullish, I look for places to be bearish. When others are bearish, I'm looking for places to be bullish. And I am still absolutely bullish. We have the US elections coming about, and we've spoken about how the elections, how the court systems, how regulations can affect what we have going on in the markets short term, midterm, and long term. As you guys know, that this is a macro channel, but we are still absolutely bullish on the next few months in the cryptocurrency space, and we are excited for its come. If you stay till here, I appreciate you. I love you. This is the trade room. We talk markets, big picture, mid picture, and we are excited about the technology in this space, and we continue to rage forward. Guys, I appreciate you. I will be catching you on the next one. Make sure to leave any thoughts and comments on what you may think about what we just put out here. And we will catch you. We will catch you on the next one in the trade room. Deuces.